Hey YouTube, Captain Mark here from Kingsland Sport Fishing. It is Monday, August 1st. I'm going to start this video with a bit of a Where's Waldo, or Where Have I Been? So kind of haven't done any videos in about 2 weeks. Reason being is I took a bunch of time off the water. My wife and I went to Quebec City, and then I was off the water for a bit. And then when I returned to the water, it was kind of incognito mode. Reason being is it was the big Scotty King of Kings tournament this past weekend on Saturday, June 30th. So let me kind of give you a rundown of what's going on the North Shore of Lake Ontario. It's I'm not gonna lie, it's been rough. Been a really rough bite the last little while. Probably about 2 weeks ago now, we had a combination of some wind, but we had call it a current. And with combination of the wind and the current, it flipped the lake. And the lake went from beautifully set up, fish biting at any given moment, to really tough fishing. And it basically continued right through to this past week. So, many of the teams in Scotty King of Kings would tell you that it was probably one of their toughest pre-fish sessions and toughest tournaments that they've fished in a very long time. Basically really tough fishing all across the North Shore, really from Bronte all the way to, call it Bluffers, Pickering, and even Whitby. I got buddies on Whitby that have been complaining and telling me how rough the fishing was. So where was good? So I'll tell you that hearing really good reports out of Newcastle and Cobourg. Had a buddy of mine go to Newcastle and absolutely smash the fish on, I think it was Friday. I had another buddy of mine, actually he pre-fished for the Scotty King of Kings on Friday, did really well. He went back on Saturday and they got some bites. Unfortunately they couldn't land them all, and it wasn't quite as good as the day before, and the class of fish was a little bit smaller. But so what happened on Saturday, July 30th at the tournament? So when I pre-fished on the Friday, July 29th, we found some decent fish on the shallow side of the drop in front of the filtration plant. So, Saturday morning we powered up, we dropped our lines, and we fished in front of this filtration plant. And unfortunately, we were getting small fish. They were not kings that were going to win the tournament for us. Let's just say the coho I'd been catching on the Thursday night on my charter were bigger. So then we decided, let's try and get the box full of coho, and then we'll do some grinding for some larger fish. So buzzed out to 400 feet where I'd been getting the coho. Spent about 90 minutes out there and couldn't move a rod on cohos. So it wasn't looking good. By this point, we've wasted 3.5 hours of tournament day, and we're coming up short. So make a decision that we're going to run to Duffin's Creek, which is east of the Pickering nuclear plant. So it's about a 16 mile run. Doing the run great. Probably at about 3-4 footers. The Tiara is just plowing through the 3-4 footers. I get about 5 or 6 miles from Duffin, and out of nowhere there's about a 20-foot log, and I have nowhere to go. So basically I power down the boat right off the throttles, put the boat into neutral, and unfortunately we hit the log square on. I don't know if there's any damage to the underneath the boat yet. The boat's getting hauled out on Wednesday. But unfortunately, I'd slowed it down quite a bit. It was probably about 6-7 miles an hour at that point, just coasting. But unfortunately, it was a good clunk on the front of the boat. I don't expect there to be any damage there. Unfortunately, I did hear a clink as it hit the propellers on the back of the boat, and I do expect some damage on the propellers, as I've already noticed they got a slight vibration on the starboard engine. So the boat's getting pulled on Wednesday. I've got my spare propellers, and we'll get the spare propellers put on, do an inspection, and see what we're dealing with. Hopefully it's nothing worse. So anyways, we eventually got to Duffin's Creek, started fishing, and we definitely found marks all the way from Duffin's to Pickering and even Highland Creek on Saturday. By this point, not gonna lie, I was pretty bummed out. I went to take a nap and left my dad, Paul, and Bill, my team, to man the rods and run the rods, as I just wasn't in the mood at that point in time, having just cracked the boat off of a pretty big, 25 foot wide by probably 8 to 10 inch round log. Anyways, the boys had some bites, probably about 6-7 rips, and nothing was sticking for them at that point. So you know, we finished the tournament. Unfortunately, we didn't have a box. We didn't bother weighing in. It was really tough fishing. I think there was 32 or 33 teams, and I think they only had about 10 boxes weighed in. So again, tough fishing. But those are the breaks. You know, Sunday came and went. I wanted nothing to do with the boat, nothing to do with the lake on Sunday. I'd planned to take the day off anyways, as it was always, it's the blow day for the tournament, so I don't book any trips. And that brings us to today. So it's Monday, August 1st. You know, on this Monday, there's one thing I do religiously. I come fishing with my wife. I don't get to fish much. I come fishing with my wife. And, you know, I wanted to test out some new gear for the new Project Salmon.ca line that I have. So some new patterns that I plan to make in the winter and bring out on the market. So I was doing some testing on those. So got here and decided we were going to run straight to the Pickering nuclear plant, because that's where I've been hearing there's fish. So basically, got out of the marina, powered up. I chose to take it easy, about 15, 16 mile an hour to the Pickering nuclear plant. You know, so it took me about 45 minutes or so. And we got set up about 6:30. And I no sooner got the first rod in the water, I'm setting up the second rod, and that rod's bouncing. So, you know, got that in. It was a nice, probably 16, 17, 18 pound mature salmon. Dumped it back in, sent it on its way. Got that rod reset, got the other rod reset, threw it a diver, and we got another king. Anyways, long story short, I was running 2 riggers, 2 divers. It was just my wife and I, so 4 rod spread. And we did quite well. I think we ended up landing 6 or 7 fish this morning, and I know we lost at least 3 or 4 fish. So what I'll tell you guys, for me it was a meat and a fly bite. I didn't really even bother putting out spoons this morning. You know, I was doing some testing of my new stuff, so I was testing out some paddle patterns, so I needed paddles. But yeah, no, a good decent bite. That being said, 9:30, the bite literally died. You might as well just flip the switch, it shut right down. You know, from 9:30 till 12 when I came in, I think I only had 2 bites, and they were both real short bites, knockoffs. You know, I got to the rod and they were gone. So that's how the day went. So if I was you, right now I'd stay away from the drop. You know, some guys are catching some fish on the drop, but it's a grind. If you're gonna go to Pickering though, go all the way to the nuclear plant. Don't go halfway to Highland Creek or between Highland and the Rouge. Go to the nuclear plant. There's lots of fish in front of the nuclear plant. It's a great screen, great marks. That's what I would recommend. But I'm gonna tell you, be safe, folks, because as I think about I look at the weather for this week, it's gonna be hit and miss. It looks like we got some decent wind from the south, west, and I think even the east or the southeast. And so it might be a little lumpy this week, but I'm not upset about this. We need some wind. We need to bring the fish back. You know, our water temperatures are looking pretty decent, but there's no reason for the fish to come back. We need some wind. So I'm hoping for a bunch of southeast this week to hopefully set the lake up by Thursday or Friday. So that's my report. It's been real tough fishing the last 2 weeks, and being pretty quiet because of the tournament. No one was really sharing any information. I plan to be out. I know for a fact I'm pretty busy Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday next week. So I'll be back out in the water. I'll try and get out a little bit earlier, but we'll see. But you know, we'll see what the winds do. I think it's gonna be a little bit windy, and that's okay. We need it. We need some fish brought back. They need to come back home as we're in this transitional period right now. Anyways, good luck out there. I hope you get some, and be safe in the water, and make sure you check the winds before you get out right now, because like I said, it might be a little bumpy. Anyways, good luck and talk to you later. Bye guys.